Today is an amazing day to be alive. It's May 20th, which means that today we are celebrating all of the wonderful things that have happened on this day throughout history. And boy, have there been many things that have happened on May 20th. So let's get into it. The year is 1902, and Cuba has just gained its independence from the United States. Now, if you want to go way back in Cuban history, then the year 1898 was a pivotal time for them because it was when the Spanish-American War had taken place. This war was fought between Spain and the U.S., but Cuba played a big part in it because they were fighting against Spain to gain their independence from colonial rule. The U.S. jumped at this opportunity to get involved in the conflict and help Cuba achieve their freedom. In the end, Spain lost the war, and as a result, they had to give up control over Cuba. The Treaty of Paris was signed on December 10, 1898, officially bringing an end to the Spanish-American War and granting Cuba its long-awaited independence. However, behind the scenes, the U.S. had some strings attached to this independence. They essentially made Cuba a protectorate of the United States, and they also placed economic restrictions on the island. Despite these limitations, this was still seen as a huge victory for Cuba and a major step towards freedom and sovereignty. But it wasn't until 13 years later in 1902 that the United States officially recognized Cuba's full independence. This recognition marked a significant moment in Cuban history, allowing the country to take its place on the world stage as a sovereign nation. Over the years, Cuba has faced numerous challenges in its journey toward democracy and human rights. Despite these setbacks, the island's rich culture, vibrant music, and strong sense of national identity have endured. Today, Cuba continues to strive for a better future while honoring the legacy of those who fought for its independence. Now, let's move on to something that will make any airplane enthusiasts out there really excited, because today in history, on May 20th, we have two very important events related to aviation that took place. The first one was in 1932, when Amelia Earhart took off from Newfoundland, Canada, on her solo transatlantic flight. Her journey would take her across the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean to Ireland, where she hoped to land and complete the first solo non-stop flight across the ocean. Amelia Earhart, a pioneering aviator and one of the earliest female aviators, had already achieved many notable accomplishments before embarking on this journey. She became the first woman to fly solo across the Pacific Ocean in 1932 and had set numerous other aviation records. Her attempt to circumnavigate the globe in 1937 ended tragically when she disappeared over the Pacific. But her legacy as a trailblazer for women in aviation lives on. And so when Amelia Earhart started her flight from Newfoundland, Canada, the entire world was watching in anticipation. After almost 15 hours of flying, she successfully landed in Northern Ireland, making history as the first woman to ever fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. When asked what it felt like to make history, she said, "At that moment, I felt very humble. I had a job to do, and I did it." During her flight, she had actually encountered several mechanical issues and rough weather conditions, but she had managed to overcome them all and had successfully completed the journey. That must have felt incredibly freeing. Back in those days, flying across the Atlantic wasn't as easy as it is today with modern technology. The plane that Amelia was flying was a twin-engine Lockheed Vega 5B, which is definitely not equipped with all the cool stuff that we have in planes nowadays. For example, back then, pilots had to use a sextant for navigation, which basically means that they had to manually calculate their position based on the stars and the sun. No GPS back then, so you can imagine how much skill and precision it took to fly a plane without all the fancy technology. Amelia Earhart was a true pioneer in aviation, and her accomplishment inspired generations of women to pursue their dreams. But guess what? There's another aviation-related event that happened on this very same day in history. On May 20th, 1927, Charles Augustus Lindbergh made history by completing the first solo non-stop transatlantic flight. Lindbergh, an American aviator and the first non-stop solo transatlantic flight, took off from Roosevelt Field in New York on May 20th, 1927 in the spirit of St. Louis, a specially designed and built aircraft. His journey took him over the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean to Le Bourget Airport in Paris, France. The flight lasted over 33 hours and covered a distance of over 3,600 miles. Now, that's a long time to be in the air. Lindbergh's accomplishment was met with widespread acclaim. He was greeted as a national hero upon his arrival in Paris and was awarded the U.S. Medal of Honor, among other accolades. His achievement opened up new possibilities for aviation and inspired future generations of pilots. But that's not all. Let me tell you about one more amazing thing that happened on this day in history. On May 20th, 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope was launched into orbit aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery. The telescope, a joint project between NASA and the European Space Agency, was designed to observe the universe in visible light, ultraviolet and near-infrared wavelengths, complementing and extending the capabilities of ground-based telescopes. The launch of the Hubble Space Telescope was a momentous occasion in the history of astronomy. The telescope was designed to operate above the Earth's atmosphere, allowing it to capture images of the universe with greater clarity and precision than had ever been possible before. One of the most famous images captured by the Hubble Space Telescope is the Hubble Deep Field, a view of a small area in the constellation of Ursa Major taken in 1995. This image showed thousands of galaxies, each containing billions or even trillions of stars. The telescope has also captured stunning images of other celestial objects such as nebulae, star clusters, and planets in our solar system. Over the years, the Hubble Space Telescope has made significant contributions to our understanding of the universe. It has allowed astronomers to see farther back in time to the formation of the first galaxies, and has helped them study the life cycles of stars and black holes. The telescope has also been used to make groundbreaking discoveries about the age and expansion of the universe. But, unfortunately, the Hubble Space Telescope was not without its problems. In the early 1990s, it was discovered that the telescope's primary mirror had been ground incorrectly, causing blurry images. A major repair mission was undertaken in 1993 to correct the mirror, which restored the telescope's ability to capture sharp images. The Hubble Space Telescope remains one of the most important and versatile tools for astronomers today. Its ability to see beyond the limits of human vision has allowed us to learn more about the universe than ever before. The images it captures continue to inspire awe and wonder in people around the world. And who knows what amazing discoveries it will make in the years to come. So, I hope you enjoyed learning about all of these amazing things that have happened on May 20th throughout history. We had Cuba gaining its independence, Amelia Earhart's historic flight, Charles Lindbergh's epic journey, and the launch of the Hubble Space Telescope, which has revolutionized our understanding of the universe. If you want to learn more about other special days in history, then make sure to stay tuned. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious. Thanks for watching.